Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to put the axle box in. I am taking all my instructions off of Alex on his channel, off of Sunshine Speedway Slot Cars. He's got a video up there as well, and I'll link it in the comment. So you can watch this one, you watch his, compare notes, whatever you want to do. But yeah, let's get into it. So here it is flipped over. I've taken all the screws out. There's a bunch of Phillips all the way around. And then underneath the sticker here, there's a T8 Torx bit that's way down in there, so you need a decent skinny one. Standard one should get it, but mine barely got it because I got these little bits here, but whatever. So that's off. So Alex was saying, careful with that piece of Scotch tape. We want to take this Scotch tape off. Try to save it if you can. And then we get this one off. There we go. So he says first things first, pull the jumpers out. Lane 1 and 2. Boom. Boom. Boom and boom. There we go. Pull them under here. And he was also saying polarity is key. So if you want to write it down, I'm going to write it down because my memory is not the greatest. But you want to keep these wires here in the same position. So I always go, when you're looking at the CU, red is right, black is left. But again, write it down. I'll write it down. Desolder this right now. My gun works. And of course this gun's not working. That's what happens when you try to buy a fancy gas-powered one. That won't shut off now. So unfortunately I only got a big soldering iron, so I'll just be careful with this. One. 2. So I also like to clean it up if you got one of these solder sucker thingies. Ugh. Just clean it up a little bit. There we go. And he says to keep the wire tap connectors. So I'm just gonna melt these off real quick. There's 2 there. Throw that wire up there. There we go. So that's it for now, and then we go onto the border and put a border piece on, customize the border piece. So I'm gonna switch camera angles and we'll get back to this. All right, guys. So the next step in Alex's instruction for the axle box is to mount the actual box. He suggests mounting it on the left-hand side of the CU for a little bit of protection, which is an awesome idea. Unfortunately, if I mount it on the left-hand side, I have this output that's gonna run right across the CU. So I'm gonna mount it on the right side of the CU, and also on the left-hand side, I have all my control station for smart race and all that set up there. So I'm gonna do it on the right side. Definitely check out his video. This is just my video, but he says drill a 1/4 inch hole about 3 centimeters out, a 1/2 inch hole 11 centimeters out from the edge, or 7 centimeters, and then 11 centimeters. So you American guys, get a ruler. And then it's 1/4 inch hole, 1/2 inch hole, 1/4 inch hole. So got that all drilled, and then he says just feed all the wires through. He says the center hole could be bigger than a 1/2 inch. I had a 1/2 inch in there, and I didn't want to use a speed bit. He uses a step bit, which I don't have, or I couldn't find. I would definitely drill this hole bigger than a 1/2 inch though, because she's tight. So get it all in. Oh yeah, she's tight. Tight, tight, tight. There you go. Just like that. Fits nice. Nice spacing off the side there. Very smart. And then the nuts here that go on the bottom are 3/8. So I'm gonna fiddle around with this, look at the video again, and we'll take it from there. So guys, here it is here, attached to the right side. So the next step was to cut a slot here between the two plastics so we can lay all these wires through. And then also what I did on the cover here is I cut it here so it all funnels down and through. So now we're going to orientate all the wires and keep on trucking. Okay guys, so got the wiring somewhat ran here. Pardon the messy hot glue. I'm not the greatest at that. So off the black loom here, you get the red and black. That's your power. So that comes down to these two tabs here. Fortunately, I didn't have them orientated right, so I got to cross them there. That's a no-no. Blue loom will be going to your far lane, which I dubbed lane 2. So that's the furthest lane away from the CU, lane 2. And the yellow loom will be to lane 1. So what we do now is this yellow wire is going to go to the closest to the CU, and then the green wire. So we're going to do that, solder those in. So here we go. We got lane 1 soldered in. Now we're going to go to lane 2. And here we go. Lane 2 is all wired up. Now on to the power. So here we go. Power's all hooked up. Remember, red is right, black is left. So wiring for the track, that should be like that. And then closest from the CU, you'll go yellow, green for lane 1. And then for the far lane, lane 2 is red and blue. Now, if you want to switch this lane 2 and that lane 1, you just change the wires. But remember, yellow and red have to be closest to the CU. All right, guys, here it is, all installed back into the track. So we got the digital car on there right now. Code it. Oh, that was sitting too high. There it is there. Runs good. Go both lanes. So now what we'll do is we'll switch it over into analog. So always bottom up when you're going to analog, and then when you're going back to digital, it's top down. So like that, like that. So I got a Scale Electric DPR LMP. So there's the chip there. We got that's track 1, that's track 2. So we're coding track 1. So we're gonna go code, hit our controller. And there it is. Analog on the West Coast digital track. Not too bad. I had some issues with this one, but I contacted Alex from Axlebox there, and he walked me through it. It was great help. It was awesome. Appreciate all his help. So glad this is finally on. And then we got the the remote box here that I still got to mount, and it's got the start, stop, and panic button and pace car for digital, so it's gonna be awesome. Once again, I appreciate all the help Alex gave me on it, and we're gonna have a lot more content coming this way. All right, guys, until next time, like and subscribe.